Electricast.
Your new hair era is here. At Sephora, you'll find carefully selected hair care products that work for your hair and take it to the next level. Your search for dream hair is over. Sephora is the place for hair care. Discover the best products that give your hair the treatment it needs from brands like Kerastase, K18, and Gisou. Plus, with free shipping and same-day delivery, there's never been a better time to trade up to healthier-looking hair. Shop hair at Sephora.
What up? It's Interview Style, where we talk about movies or whatever. Back to the Future. Watched it again, Iris. There's a whole bunch of good time travel movies. And I think that if it's not fun, if it's comedy, then almost invariably it's the horrors and terrors that Doc Brown preached about disrupting the space-time continuum and making things worse by messing with time travel.
Is that a thing, the space-time continuum?
Well, I mean, it's speculation. The basic principle is if you believe that going back in time creates an alternate timeline that skews off from the original, a branch, so that you live in a different future, which I guess some people nowadays would consider a multiverse. You live in a different reality when you come up to the present again. That's one thing. But if what you do when you go back in time changes the future for the single timeline that we all live in, then yeah, you're going to change stuff. And if you step on a bug or whatever, then it could change everything in the future because of all the things that bug. I don't know,
the butterfly
dude.
effect.
Stepping on a plant or something that was going to be a tree, that was going to be a famous tree or something, like that. I don't know how influential bugs will be 30 years in the future. But I started thinking about realistic time travel. If we had that option, like not a DeLorean, if you had a button and you press the button and it would take you somewhere in time and you would be dropped there for 1 week, and then you come back, you just pop back to where you were sitting down in front of the button, but it's a single-use time travel button. So you have one option.
Why do you got to put so much pressure on it, Wes?
Because in the pressure, you have to make rational decisions. It can't just be like, I'm going to go check out the dinosaurs. You don't know what that's going to be, where you land. And so that's what I'm asking you to do, is to carefully plan where you would go. If you just have a knob that points to the year, you're going to go to the same date at some year in the future. Where do you go? We talked about what it would be to be the richest person in the world 200 years ago. That would kind of suck because you got to go everywhere by wagon and you have no air conditioning and you have to hire people to come to your house and sing to you. And this kind of killed like all the fun imagining stuff. I'd go to the Old West or whatever and stuff. It kind of dials that down when you think realistically about what.
But you'd only be there for 1 week. What couldn't you endure for 1 week?
The idea isn't what you would endure. It was what would you get out of it. Would you want to see Psycho in the movie theater to see that experience that you'd never be able to view again, where people are passing out from some of the revelations in that movie?
Well, there's a perfectly mercenary version of this where I would use my single-use 1 week time travel button to go back in time and make myself a lot of money and set myself up and my family for generational wealth and security. But that seems boring, and
that's what I'm
that
saying.
Would be one of my trips. But would I be curious to go back to 1897, May 21st of 1897, and be present for the staged reading of Dracula with Bram Stoker? That'd be pretty cool. I would like to know how it really went down.
Man, you'd be clapping and cheering and whistling and stuff, and they'd be like, who is that person?
I would go up to Bram Stoker, and I would clap him on the shoulder and say, you don't realize the impact that this story will make on the world.
Why? Why won't I understand what impact this has? Will something happen to me? Are you giving me information about the future that I should not know?
He'd take one look at my Nikkei moccasins and just know that that I speak the truth.
So if you go back in the past and make yourself rich in the present, that's a moral gray area, right? Because you're exploiting time travel for financial gain or whatever. Well, Crispin Glover would say that it's morally gray area. But is it different if you go into the future, which is where I would go? Something modest, 20, 30 years. Maybe Doc Brown had it right by saying he would go somewhere beyond his years and see who wins the World Series and stuff. And that's where Marty finds Gray's Sports Almanac. It's still a gray area. Get it? Gray's Sports Almanac. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. But really, if you go into the future and you see what's burgeoning, oh, there's this company called Amazon or whatever, or whatever's big 20, 30 years from now, and then invest for pennies now, that will lead to generational wealth for your kids, but you may be too old to appreciate it. Is that less morally questionable to influence a future that nobody has experienced yet?
Interesting notion, Wes, because what if you go 5 years into the future and you're not even there? That would be quite a shock and a revelation. That would probably change a lot about how you behave when you come back a week later.
We are supposed to not interact with your alternate self anyway, so I would just assume that he's sitting indoors somewhere watching a movie.
I don't know that it's morally less or more gray, questionable, but it is a curious proposition. I mean, if you go safely into the future, like you said, 30, 50 years, like the odds are you're definitely not going to be there in 50 years. So why not experience something that you'll never experience? It could be really dark. It could be bad, but it could be great. And you could have a lot of insight to bring back to your family and friends. I think this is the choice of people who really are brave and curious and actually don't like history.
But like the future, maybe. If you don't like the past, does that mean that you don't like the future? Is it just not what's in front of you? I think that's a lack of imagination.
Possibly. So is that your choice? How many years in the future would you go?
As boring as it is, I would probably go into the future, something modest where I wouldn't stand out completely, 20, 30 years or something, which is probably approaching the end of my life or whatever, and see what's what, and kind of try to set up for that and anticipate some of the things that I could do to get out of a financial rut, to make sure that my future is secured.
And you wouldn't try and find yourself in where you are if you are there in 20, 30 years from now?
No, absolutely. No. I think that would be a horror show. But anything in the past, I feel like I can look up in a book, see in movies, or, in history text, or read or watch YouTube videos about. So stuff in the future is the ultimate unknown. And while there would be cool cultural moments that I would like to see, I wouldn't waste my one-use time travel on it. Sorry, I'm exploiting it for financial gain, albeit in a less gray area. So let us know what you think about what your single-use time travel experience would be. Thanks for playing. Love you. Goodbye.
NFL football season is here, which means when you switch to Verizon, it feels like touchdown, because you get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us when you buy an eligible 5G phone on select unlimited plans, which means you can watch every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. And it's all on us. Now that's the Verizon way to kick off the NFL football season right. Switch and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube on us, only with Verizon.
Electric acid.